Welcome to Business Figures. Today, we are talking about one of the biggest names in the world of MMA, Jon Jones. With his highly anticipated fight just around the corner, we thought it was the perfect time to delve into the promotion and the money he makes in the UFC. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to stay updated with our latest content. We're always bringing you the latest and greatest in the world of business, so don't miss out. Also, comment down below who your favorite MMA fighter of all time is.
In a lot of sports,
Jon Jones' incredible success in the MMA world is not just due to his impressive record, but also his undeniable talent and skill inside the octagon. He is known for his versatile fighting style that includes grappling, striking, and wrestling techniques, making him a difficult opponent for anyone who steps into the cage with him. Jones' record speaks for itself, with his only loss being a disqualification due to an illegal elbow strike in a fight that he was dominating. He has defeated some of the biggest names in MMA, including Daniel Cormier, Alexander Gustafsson, and Chael Sonnen. Jones has also shown incredible perseverance and determination, overcoming numerous obstacles in his career, including legal issues and a suspension for a failed drug test. Despite these setbacks, he has continued to prove himself as one of the greatest fighters of all time. Jones' former light heavyweight champion status only adds to his impressive resume, and many believe he has the potential to become a champion in other weight classes as well. His dominance in the sport has earned him a spot in the conversation for the title of the greatest fighter of all time, alongside legends such as Anderson Silva and Georges St-Pierre. Now, let's talk about the money. Jones is one of the highest-paid fighters in the UFC, and for good reason. He has headlined some of the biggest pay-per-view events in the history of the sport, and his fights always generate a ton of revenue. According to reports, Jones has made over $10 million in the UFC, and that doesn't even include his endorsements or sponsorships. It's safe to say that Jones is a big-time earner in the world of MMA. While the exact amount of money Jon Jones earns per fight can vary, it is widely known that he is one of the highest-paid fighters in the UFC. According to reports, his average earnings per fight are around $500,000. However, this number can increase significantly with bonuses and pay-per-view revenue. One fight that never happened, which would have been a high-risk, high-reward fight, would have been against the powerful Francis Ngannou. The potential fight between Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou fell through due to a disagreement between Jones and the UFC regarding his compensation. Jones, who is one of the highest-paid fighters in the UFC, reportedly requested a significant increase in his pay for the fight, citing the size and significance of the event. However, the UFC was unwilling to meet his demands, and negotiations fell apart. The fight between Jones and Ngannou would have generated a significant amount of revenue for the UFC. Ngannou is one of the most feared heavyweights in the sport, and his knockout power has made him a fan favorite. Jones, on the other hand, is one of the greatest fighters of all time and has a massive fan base that would have been excited to see him move up in weight to challenge Ngannou. If the fight had taken place, it likely would have been one of the highest-grossing events in UFC history. The exact amount of revenue that the fight would have generated is difficult to estimate, but it is likely that it would have exceeded $10 million in pay-per-view sales alone, not including ticket sales, merchandise, and other revenue streams. Despite the disappointment of the fight falling through, there is still a chance that Jones and Ngannou will face each other in the future. Both fighters have expressed interest in the matchup, and if negotiations can be worked out, it could still happen in the future. Comment down below who you think would have won if this fight took place. Jones is a proven draw, and his fights generate significant revenue for the UFC. He has headlined some of the highest-grossing pay-per-view events in the company's history, including UFC 214, which reportedly generated over $15 million in revenue. Fan base: Jones has a massive fan base that follows him closely and buys tickets to his fights. He has over 5 million followers on social media and is one of the most recognizable faces in the sport. Marketable: Jones is a marketable athlete who is known for his dominant fighting style, flashy personality, and impressive physique. He is often featured in UFC promotional material and is a favorite of sponsors and advertisers. Jon Jones is generally regarded as a solid promoter of events. While he is not known for being as flashy or outspoken as some of his fellow fighters, he has a large fan base and is a consistent draw at the box office. In addition to his fighting abilities, Jones has also shown a willingness to engage with fans and promote events through social media and other channels. He has a large following on platforms such as Twitter and Instagram, and he frequently interacts with his fans and shares updates about his training and upcoming fights. Legacy: Jones has already established himself as one of the greatest fighters of all time, and his legacy will only continue to grow as he competes in more high-profile fights. This legacy adds value to the UFC brand and makes it more attractive to fans and potential business partners. International appeal: Jones has competed all over the world, and his international appeal is a significant asset to the UFC. He has a large following in countries such as Brazil, where MMA is particularly popular, and his fights draw fans from all over the world. In summary, Jon Jones is an extremely valuable asset to the UFC. His ability to generate revenue, his massive fan base, marketability, legacy, and international appeal all make him one of the most important fighters in UFC history. Jones' upcoming fight against Ciryl Gane is highly anticipated, as it marks his return to the octagon after a long hiatus. Gane, who is also a highly skilled fighter, presents a formidable challenge for Jones. The fight is scheduled to take place on March 4, 2023, at UFC 285. Jones has been training extensively for the bout and has expressed his excitement for the opportunity to prove himself once again. Many fans and analysts are eagerly anticipating this fight, as it has the potential to be one of the biggest in UFC history. If Jones is able to come out on top, it could solidify his status as one of the greatest fighters of all time. Overall, Jones' upcoming fight against Ciryl Gane is shaping up to be one of the biggest events in MMA history, and fans around the world are eagerly awaiting the outcome. So, there you have it. With his incredible skills and ability to generate massive revenue, it's no wonder why the UFC is promoting him like crazy. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to stay updated with our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.